Okay, so I think we're live again. Sorry about that, guys. We had some technical difficulties. I don't know if it cut out just for us or for you too, but we're back and we're gonna just go right into it because we lost a couple minutes. All right, so we're gonna be working on leg stuff today and stances and thinking about our legs a lot. So we're gonna start by warming up our legs pretty intensively. So we're gonna do what I normally do when I'm warming up. We're just gonna do 60 lunges. So we're gonna do 20 to the front, 20 to the back, and then 20 on the sides, right? So do these as slow as you need to. Go as low as is comfortable for you, well, a little uncomfortable for you. Don't injure yourself. The point of this is to get your legs warm and start stretching them out. All right, so to the front first, we're gonna alternate back and forth. So we'll start left, and then we'll do right. Just forward lunges. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, rope, sich, hach, good, ju. Good. 10 more. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, rope, sich, hach, good, ju. Good. Shake it out. So if you aren't used to this and you need to do it slower, do less, that's fine. Just trying to get our legs warm, so whatever works for you. Okay, let's do backwards now. So same position starting. We're just going to do lunges behind. So let's do the same thing, alternating back and forth. Start with your left leg back. Ich. Try to keep your back straight. Ni. San. Stretch out your inner thighs. Chi. Go. Rope. Sich. Hach. Good. Ju. Okay, 10 more. Ich. Ni. San. Chi. Go. Rope. Sich. Hach. Good. Ju. Good. Shake it out. 2/3 there. Hope you're starting to feel that in your hip flexors and in your quads a little bit. Okay, now let's just do the side ones. So for these, we're going to start on the left side, do 10 on the left, and we'll do 10 on the right, and we'll be done. All right, left side. So dropping down to the side. So we'll demonstrate this one first. Only as far as your joints and muscles will allow you to go. So you can stop here, right? You can go all the way down, either way, right? So just dropping to the left. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, rope, sich, hach, good. Last one on this side, ju. Good. Relax. All right, last set. Right side. So moving to the right. Ich. Ni. San. Chi. Go. Rope. Sich. Hach. Good. And you. Good. Shake it out. Relax. I'm just going to check the comments really quick and make sure we're okay. Perfect. Okay, good. I think we're all on the same page. Okay, cool. Okay, so today we're going to be working on thinking about, like I said before, stances and legs a lot. Hopefully your legs are a little bit warmed up after that. For my first section here, we're going to kind of break it down to a more basic level. And I want to work on really thinking about, with a lot of intentionality, our legs and how we use the individual muscles and when we use them. So really putting our mind and our attention in our legs. And with that, thinking about expansion and contraction. So we talk about expansion and contraction all the time in karate, right? But I think a lot of times, at least for me, it's easy when we hear that phrase or think about that concept to think about it in terms of the upper body, right? So expansion, you might think big moves like manji-uke, and contraction, you might think small moves like kaguzuki, right? But that's only half of the puzzle, and it's really important to apply those same expansion and contraction concepts to your lower body. It might even be more important. So we're going to think about that for my first section here. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off by just practicing stepping out into some big stances from smaller stances, and really focusing on the half of that transition that is into the big stance and what we can work on there. All right, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is start from heisokudachi, so feet together with knees bent. And for this heisokudachi, I want you to be like regular stance height. So we're going to step into kibidachi. So have it be nice and low. Sometimes we do heisokudachi kind of high, but for this one, we're going to work our legs today and drop it just as low as your kibidachi would be. Now we're going to step out with the right side into kibidachi to the right, each. That's all. For right now, that's all we're doing. And then back to heisokudachi, knee. So out, each, knee, back, each, and knee. So keeping the same height the whole time, right? We're not falling into this stance and coming back up. We're starting low and we're pushing out into it. So 2 more times slow, each, knee, each, knee. Good, okay, relax while I talk. So what I want you to think about here is specifically the inner muscles of your left thigh. So I want the first thing you think about when you hear the count, the very first thing that happens should be pushing with those inside muscles, right? So you're going to push into your stance. I want you to think about expanding those muscles. Push your range here, right? So make your stance a little bit wider than you normally would. Push with these inside muscles, not only to get out into the stance quickly, right away when you hear the count, but also to push your range, push your flexibility in your groin muscles. Okay? All right, so starting from here. So speeding it up a little bit, still keeping it light, but just stepping out into the stance, really thinking about the intentionality of pushing with those inside muscles first before you do anything else. Ready? Each, knee, sun, chi, go, roke, teach, arch, go, ju. Good. We're going to do one more set just like that. Think about launching yourself. It's okay if the form isn't perfect right now, but focus on pushing into that target as quickly and as powerfully as you can. Ready? 5 more. Each. Back. Knee. Back. Sun. Back. Cheek. Back. Go. And yame. Good. Shake it out. Shake out that left leg. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So feet together, bend your knees. Get a nice low heisokudachi. And now we're moving to the left. Still stepping out into kibidachi. Each. Knee. Sun. Chi. So when we're going slow, it should really be the first thing that happens. Focus on making it the first thing that your mind goes to, that inside muscle on your right thigh. Sun. Chi. Go. Roll. Teach. Arch. Go. Ju. All right, let's try it a little bit quicker. Ready? Each. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Roll. Teach. Arch. Go. Ju. Good, young. Shake it out. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time, and I'll just demonstrate first. What I want you to do this time is when we come back to heisokudachi, we're going to prep for enpyuchi. So we're going to cover this way. We're stepping to the right, so we're doing left hand on top. Right hand is going to do the enpyuchi. So we're going to step out this way, right? We're doing a small technique, right? A small technique with the upper body, but a big technique with the lower body. So focus your thoughts of expansion on your lower body, on pushing those muscles apart, really making space. If you think about your stances, they're going to determine a lot They're going to determine in large part your speed, especially the speed right at the beginning of the technique, and they're going to determine your power. So we really want to focus, put our minds to thinking about our legs. It's easy to think about our arms, but try to shift your attention to your legs first. All right, feet together, bend your knees, covering for Enpiuchi. So we're going to step to the right, Enpiuchi Chudan, and that same feeling where we're pushing, really expanding and launching ourselves with this left leg. Ready? Ich, knee, cover, good. San, chi, go, roll, sich, hach, good, ju. Good. All right, let's do another set. Push yourself. Make that the time between my count and your movement non-existent. Make it right immediately you're going. Ready? Ich, knee, san, chi, go, roll, sich, hach, good, ju. Good. Shake it out. All right. We don't have a lot of time, so let's go ahead to the other side. You're going to give that left leg a break a little bit. So bending your knees again. So this time we're covering right hand on top to the left, and left hand is going underneath. We're going to do Enpiuchi with the left side this time. Slowly first. Ich, knee, san, chi, go, roll. Don't forget what you should be thinking about. Sich, hach, ku, ju. Good. All right, let's try it a little bit quicker. Keep your stance low. And push, explode with your right leg. Ich, knee, san, chi, go, roll, sich, hach, ku, ju. Good, take it out. And relax. Take a second. Okay, so of course, we're going to practice Fluidity. One of those three basic stances. We have to practice the other two as well. So this time we're going to do, we're going to do Kokutsudachi. We're going to do back stance. So the prep stance for this one is going to be Kosudachi. So you're going to do, we'll start with left foot in front, right foot behind, right foot at the ankle. And we're going to bend our knees. And this time, because we're going to step back into back stance. So you're going to push with the front leg back into your back stance. Okay? And then we'll come back to Kosudachi. And again, like that. Okay? Let's go ahead and add the hands for sake of time. So even though we're still keeping our intentionality in our legs, really focusing on pushing with that front leg in this case, we're going to still use our hands. So from when we're in Kosudachi, we'll have Chokuzuki out, and then as we step back, we're going to do Enpiuchi behind us. So, Enpiuchi this way. Okay, behind you, so you're looking behind you. So when you push back, you'll start from here, and you're going to push back this way. Okay? Alright, let's try it. So, let's do left leg forward, right foot right behind, and then we have right hand out in front in Chokuzuki position. So slowly, you're going to step back with your right leg, push with the left leg into back stance, each. And then you got that Enpiuchi behind you. And knee. But the hands aren't so important right now. If you're not figuring out the Enpiuchi, don't worry about it. The important part's the stance. San, chi. So again, thinking of that initial push with your left leg. Go. Row. Sich. Hach. Go. Ju. Okay, a little quicker. Ich. Knee. San. Chi. Go. Row. Sich. Hach. Go. Ju. Good. Relax. Shake it out. I challenge you to push yourself a little bit, too, as we're speeding up. Drop your stance a little bit lower than you're used to. It will be more difficult, but you'll also find that there's a lot more kind of potential energy there, right? There's a lot more force that you can use if your stance starts a little bit lower. All right, let's do the other side. So right foot in front, left foot coming up behind, and left hand out punching. So we're going to step back with the left leg, slowly empty you with the left elbow. Each. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ro. Stay the same height. Sich. Hach. Ku. And you. Good. All right, let's try speeding it up. Keep that stance low. And remember, the most important thing is to push right away with that front thigh. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ro. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. And yum. Good. Shake it out. So you'll notice with these drills, we've got one more to do, but before we do that, you'll notice with these drills that we're only really focusing right now on half the drill, right? We're focusing on the big stance, the expansive movement with our legs, but there's another half of the drill, right, where we contract. So we're focusing on this part right now, but then there's also this part that's really important. But that's a topic for another day. So you can think about that on your own and kind of extrapolate out the things that maybe could be useful to work on from this drill on the other half, on the other side of it, from the other side of the coin. Okay, last one, we're going to do front stance, so Zen Kutsudachi. So for this one, our starter stance is going to be Neko Ashidachi. If you don't know cat stance, just do Heisokudachi again, okay? But if you do know it, go ahead and practice it. So we're going to do right foot forward, Neko Ashidachi. We're going to start with the opposite hand out. And you're going to shift forward, you're going to push with that bent leg, the coiled spring, into Hanmi, to half face, and Uchijodo. Okay? So, this way. Right? And then each time, don't cheat. Make sure you come back to your actual correct Neko Ashidachi. Okay, so right foot out, left hand in front. We're going to shift forward. You're going to do empty Uchijodan with your right elbow. Slowly first. Each. And knee back. San. Shi. Go. Ro. Sich. Hash. Ku. Ju. Good. All right, challenge yourself. Make that abrupt movement right when you hear my count. Drop your stance another half inch, and make sure you're really expanding your legs when you land in Hanmi. That's why we're in Hanmi, right? We're in half face. So really utilize that to feel, you push your range, the range of your leg muscles and your hips. Push that. All right? I'll count a little slower. Right, yoi. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Push your range. Roll. Sich. Hach. Good. Ju. Good. Yummy. Relax. Check it out. All right, one side left. So this time we're going to sit on the right leg, left foot in front, right hand in ready position. Okay, so you're going to shift forward with the left side and reach your jaw. Ready? Each. Knee. So take these slow ones to really take your time, push the limits of your range. San. Shi. Go. Roll. Sich. Hach. Ku. And Ju. Good, all right, let's try this feet. Last set, so give it your all. Really burn your legs out on this one. Push with that back thigh. Immediately, abruptly, and as hard as you can. Ready? Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Roll. Sich. Ha. Ku. Ju. Good, yummy. Very nice. Shake it out, relax. And make sure we didn't lose anybody. Nice. Okay, I think we're good. I hope you guys are keeping up and not super bored. Hope I'm not the only one who's out of breath. All right, so I got 2 minutes left. So we're just gonna work on we're going to do something that I try to practice on my own a lot, and this is not novel. I learned this through other instructors, but what I try to do with a lot of my katas is practice them without using my hands. So I'll practice them with my arms crossed, or maybe tucked into my belt, but I'm not doing the arm movements, the arm techniques, the upper body movements. But I'm still trying to maintain the rest of the techniques of the kata, right? So the whole rest of my body is still working. It just happens to not be my arms. And what I think this does is it helps me put my mind in my legs and my hips and my core instead of in my arms. So I do this sometimes like before a tournament, where I can tell I'm getting tense. I'll practice my katas without using my arms to try to make my body think more about my legs than my arms. So we're just going to do hand shodan without our arms. This first one, let's just do slowly. And just try to feel those moments where it might feel awkward or disconnected. Feel those moments and make note of them, and you can then, figure out why and work on that later. All right, hand shodan. So do whatever you need to with your arms to keep, as long as they're out of the way. You can literally do whatever you want. And I'm going to count this one out slowly. Ready? Ich. Meaning, so make those stances long, and remember to push right away with your legs. First thing that happens is you move with your legs. San. Shi. Go. Rok. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rok. Sich. Hach. Ku. Ju. Ich. Yum. Good job. So yeah, like I said, kind of try to internalize the moments in that kata where stuff felt weird or didn't feel quite right. Maybe revisit it and see, what you can learn from that. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm going to hand it over to Senpai Dan to teach you more about stances and stuff. Listen.
Hello. My sister just did an excellent section on expansion and contraction within stances. Keep it in mind, because my concept today is going to be dynamism and fluidity between stances. You can't practice this without a strong foundation in what we just practiced. So it's like a prerequisite to some of the topics we're going to play with. I was watching her, and the clock crept up on us, so I'm going to try and keep my explanations as brief as possible. But I do like to talk, so we're gonna start. Actually, before we make any stances, I want to get our arms nice and warm and in the spirit of the type of movements we're about to do. So from Shizentai, all we're going to practice is Chokuzuki. We're going to do a set of Chokuzuki. We're going to do a set of Ageuke. We're going to do a set of Udeuke, Shinagudeuke, and we're going to do Genabarai. So 4 techniques, but we're going to be practicing them as Kage techniques. So in Shotokan, we do a lot of holding position. And it's to teach ourselves the correct path. And we have to do it. We have to continue to do it. Even when we feel like we mastered a technique, we must practice the formal standard to remind ourselves of our baseline, of where we're supposed to be coming back to. We want these techniques to come out correctly, automatically. We're building good habits so that we don't have to think about them. However, you're never going to stand here like this after you hit someone. Ever. There's no reason to do it. So we teach ourselves the proper motion by holding position, but then realistically, once you've made contact, there's no reason to hold that position. So we're going to practice first starting with Jodan Ageuke from Shizentai. Ageuke Keage. So go ahead and each count, drop your hands back to Shizentai position. So you're going to do your full block and then recover. The only tension is at the point of impact. Then recover. Starting with the left, we'll alternate hands. Jodan, I get it. Ready? Ich. Ni. San. Ji. Go. Ro. Chi. Hat. Kyu. Ju. Ich. Ni. San. Stay relaxed. Ji. Go. Ro. Chi. Hat. Kyu. Ju. Now, you're not holding your position, but that doesn't mean that you skip anything. When we practice proper Jodan Nageuke, we tense our legs, we vibrate our hips, we pull our draw hand back all the way to the full extent of our flexibility. These things should all still be happening, must all still be happening. It's just for one frame. And then we drop it. That's what we're practicing. Udeuke, shoot out Udeuke, Soto Udeuke. Same way, ready? Snap. Starting left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Use your hips. 8, 9. Use your legs. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Next is get on right. I'm not specifying speed or slow. What I want you to do is move fluidly, and once you're comfortable with the motion, you can ramp up your intensity. But I'm not going to specify, like, I want you to go fast or I want you to go slow. I want you to go, I believe speed is a product of comfort. So once you are comfortable with the motion, you will speed up naturally, and it'll be more correct. Whereas if you're trying to go fast before you know the motion, that's called rushing, and you're just going to slow yourself down, and it'll be bad. So we should move at the speed that we're confident and comfortable in the motion. Get on right, starting left hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To make this kind of like your Uraken strength, we can do Uraken and hold it, right? We have katas where we hold this position. But usually when we practice Uraken, it's snap, and it returns on the path it followed. So that's what we should do here. Get on right, strike, and then as soon as you hit your target, return along the same path. Same thing, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn it. And the last thing, Chokuzuki. Just do Chudan. We'll only do Chudan here. Practicing Chokuzuki, same way though. Chokuzuki Keiage. So from Shizentai, your hand comes to your hip, and it doesn't stay there. As soon as you hit your hip, you flow through, and as soon as you hit the target, you return to the hip, and then back. This other hand, you time the draw hand with this motion, and then the other hand. So keep yourself relaxed, tense at the moment of impact, but then relax as abruptly so that you can move out of it. Starting left. Ready? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, relax. Okay. Next, stances. So, the same principle that I was just talking about, holding position. If you think about it, there's no reason to do it. That applies to stances too. When I walk, I don't stop between steps. I did at one time, right? When I was a toddler, when I was a baby learning how to walk. That's exactly how I did it. I went and I put this foot down and I made sure this foot was down before I removed this foot from the ground. And I made sure that this one was in place before I took my next step. But then as I gained confidence and I gained competency in transferring my weight, I stopped doing it. So basically, at any given time, there's only one foot fully in contact with the ground. That's a normal, natural stride. And the thesis of this class, or at least my section of this class, is that the same should apply for stances. We do this, but once I hit my target, what do I need this stance for? I don't. There's no reason to do it. I should be able to move through. For most stances. Sometimes there are exceptions, like when you are receiving an attack and you want to be rooted. But my argument is that most of our stances should be used, at least should be usable as transitional positions rather than final positions. This should never be your final position. There's no reason to stay here. So, let's practice it. We're going to walk forward in Zenkin's action. We actually learned this in hand showdown, right? We do it twice in hand showdown. Then we never really do it again. But we do it in hand showdown. 3 times in hand showdown, actually. 1, 2, 3. From here, you go 4, 5. You don't pause. And then 6, 7. Here, 8, 9. You move through. And you have to make a strong stance here. But then, instead of standing here, you flow. That's what we're going to practice. So we all know how to walk. We don't need to practice walking, but what we should practice is walking through Zenkin's action. So left leg forward, get up right after my head. No hands. We're going to take 3 steps forward in Zenkin's action with no pause in between. So when you walk, you go up and down. This is a natural gait. Your body rises and falls because it's more efficient to let gravity carry you than it is to drive yourself forward. But for our purposes, since we're trying to conserve our momentum, we are going to stay the same height and drive. But that's the only difference. We're going to do each count 3 steps forward. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then just recover. And we'll walk it back and reset and we'll do it again. Ready? So each count 3 steps forward. Each. And that. Knee. And that. Now, don't forget to drive with the back leg. Don't skip steps just because we're trying to expedite the process. Don't skip this. This motion has to happen. It's just once it happens, you move on. You don't stop. Drive with your back leg, catch all of your weight with your front leg, and then flow through to the next step. There should be 3. Ready? Sun. Drive, drive, drive. Okay. One more. Young. Drive, drive, drive. Back leg. Good. And recover. Okay, so if we add hand techniques to this motion, or to a similar motion, the first exercise I want to practice involves combining the concept with the hands and the legs. So we'll do it the very, very absolute basic way first. Pure basic kihon. Because anytime you streamline something, you must practice the formal way for balance. That way you can always find your way back to your baseline. Say you're practicing some advanced high concept and you're working it into your karate, and then years down the line, you decide it's wrong. Well, now you have to find your way back to a more correct state. Whereas if you always practice the basics, the formal basics, the way we learn them from our instructors, the way they are performed in our katas, you always have a baseline. No matter what you do with your experimentation in karate, you can always just find your way back to baseline. That's why we're going to practice it the basic way. So this exercise, facing forward, we're going to shift forward from jukumai, starting jukumai. We're going to shift forward, age, and then with the same hand, half step up, gedan, and then finish with full oji, and then recover. So it'll be, I'll give you 3 counts for the beginning. It'll be 1, shift out, full stance. 2, feet together, back leg up. And then 3, oji. And that's the basic way. That's how we're going to start. So left leg forward, jukumai. Mate. 3 counts. First count, age, 1. Then second count, feet together, backs it up, gedan, 2. Make this almost gakuhan make. It's like front face, but almost feel like you're twisting your hips to the 45. Get ready to launch that way. And then 3, step forward with the right leg, punch with the right hand. 3. Good. And shift back. We're going to shift back now on the right leg is in front, because that way we can just alternate. Same thing, ready? 1, age. 2, gedan, twist. And then 3, and shift it back. Same way, exact same way, one more time. 1, 2, 3, and back. I'll turn this way to show. 1, 2, same hand, 3, left, and back. Now, by 1 count, do the whole thing. Ready? 1, block, block. 2, block, block. Now, you notice we're no longer stopping here. We're not putting our foot down. There's no reason for the foot to stop. We are blocking and punching as we step. We're just doing 2 hand techniques in 1 full step. Flow through. Block, block, punch. Ready? 3. And back. 4. 5. And 1. 6. Good. So this time, we're going to do like 6 more. This time, allow your body to naturally flow. Don't stop. Don't even stop at the edge. Don't even stop here. Don't stand in this ojiku position. What I want you to do is age, keage. But instead of snapping back to here, back to your starting position, you're just going to snap right into the gate on the right. 1, 2. By the time you do this, you should be stepping. And then you finish the step, drive, launch with the back leg. And as you do so, allow it to come with you. Launch, and then come up. Ready. Ready for next time. 6 more. Ready? Like I said before though, only go as fast as you can do correctly. I want you to do it smoothly, not necessarily quickly, not urgently. Ready? 1. And then recover. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Get it now. We have time for basically one more, but it's the same theme. Everybody's, I'm sure, I am assuming, everyone is familiar with the exercise where we step forward, oizuki, step to the side, MPUG, step to the rear, shutoku, knife hand block. It's a very, very basic exercise. It's an extremely beneficial exercise to practice. I love that drill. We're going to add to it. We're going to use it for this concept. So, the one change that I'm making, not because it's better than the original, but because it works better for keeping things flowing, is that instead of from here continuing to move the same foot and stepping back with the right, we're going to step with the right, then step with the right, then step back with the left. So that we're in position to just go ahead and do the other side. So you're switching it up at the last step, but otherwise it's the same idea. Now, the first step is going to be oizuki, jodan. Then from here, yuriashi, and shifting gyakuzu. But otherwise the same. Instead of just oizuki, we're going to practice oizuki, gyakuzu. Slide in on the side. Then to the side, we'll do MPUG. Then rotate behind. Uraken. Same thing, kihon. And then after the uraken, recover. To jukumai. Then from here, ordinarily you would step back with the right leg. We're going to go ahead and step back with the left leg. Shutoken. Then we make this back stance, ashibarai. So from here, from jukumai, shutoke, ashibarai, then kakuzuki, and then gyakuzu, crouch down. You've taken your opponent down, and you're going to tag them. So we'll just follow the count. I'll count, and you follow me, and hopefully you guys can keep up so that they have a bunch of examples to follow. Ready? Starting with the left leg forward, jukumai. First count, oizuki, then gyakuzuki. Yuriashi, slide in on the gyakuzu. Ready? 1, punch, punch. Good. Now to the right, MPUG with the right leg, and kihon. 2, then spin around behind, uraken, kihon, then continue the step. So right leg in front. Good. Now, on 3, shutoke, ashibarai, gakuzuki, gakuzuki. Ready? 3, block, sweep, punch, drop. Good. And then recover. You have your left leg forward again. One more time. 1, punch, punch. 2, strike, or I can follow through. 3, knife and block, sweep, punch, punch. Down. Very important point. So ashibarai is kind of an advanced technique. The follow-up to ashibarai, follow-up to sweeping techniques, is arguably a very advanced technique, but it's just shokuzuki. It's shokuzuki, but you are dropping your weight. When you do this, you never allow your back to bend. You're not trying to bring your shoulder closer to the target. You're trying to bring your whole body down closer to the target. You stay upright, you drop your legs, and you strike. We've done this before in kata. 1, 2, 3. Same technique. We don't do this. We do this, but it's very important to stay upright for this technique. Let's switch legs. Let's do a couple, and then we'll streamline. Ready? Step forward with the left hand and the left leg. 1, punch, punch. 2, strike, spin behind, strike. Then 3, step back, sweep, punch. 3, and on. Right here. One more. 1, punch, punch. 2, 3. Good. Hang on. Now, the first move, that gakuzuki with the yurigashi, we do this in kata as well. This is not, I'm not making this up. Basai dai. Here, and then yurigashi from this position. Here. This is accomplished basically by picking the front leg up. If I pick my front leg up without rocking my weight back, if I keep my weight forward and pick my foot up, I must fall forward. That's just physics. It's gravity. It's gonna happen here. So this is the same. You step forward, oizuki, then pick your foot up. As you do your gakuzuki, you'll fall right into your target. That's the theory. 5 minutes left. So, okay. Now to make this smoother, we're going to turn the punches into kihon. So instead of standing here and then standing here, basically just drive forward into this front stance, and then it becomes a new jukumai, because you already drove with your back leg. The separation of the legs doesn't need to be sustained. It can be brief. As long as you do it while you're hitting the target, there's no reason for these legs to remain spread apart from each other. Your balance is going to be better when you recover and bring them together. So make the long stance. Don't just skip the long stance because it's slow and unwieldy. Make the stance only for the instant that you need it, and then get out of it and get ready to do the next thing. That's what this training is about. So the first step is like, and then the second step is like, boom. But instead of standing in this kibidachi, you're just separating your legs. You're just using this to travel. Step and then spin immediately. And then here, just flow through. That's the motion. So from here, strike. And that's what it looks like. Then the third one, obviously, step away, and as soon as the back foot lands, the front foot's coming back to you. Sweep. Don't wait. Just sweep. Where is this from? Take a shodan, right? We've practiced this before as well. Take a shodan. Here. Same movement. It's just normally you do it from kibidachi. crochet, we're doing it from kokutsudachi, sort of. Really, you're just doing it during your step. Snap. Ready? Left leg forward. You might take. So keep those techniques, those streamlining techniques in mind. Try and make everything flow. The whole sequence is going to be one count. I'm going to say one, and I want you to do all 3 steps. Front, side, and back. Don't rush. No speed required, but everything should flow. And what I'm trying to eliminate is stopping in place. Don't stop unless you're finished the sequence. Ready? No speed. Itch. And then one more. Knee. Now, right leg in front. Same way, nice and smooth. Itch. And last one. Knee. Okay. That's the clock. I've got about 10 seconds left. So that's basically the theme that I've been toying with in my training, is combining the timing, making sure all of the basic elements in my Shotokan are present, but streamlining the timing so that there's no empty space in between. So when I practice hand Shodan, I practice it the normal way, one movement at a time. But then, I start trying to feel out what would happen if I combined sections and did things in a more fluid, more practical sort of way, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. It's a pretty advanced concept. It's tragic to me when I see high-ranking advanced people getting stuck and then deciding like, well, stances are not practical because you can't employ them quickly. It's not that they're not practical. They're highly practical. You just have to do them quickly, correctly and quickly. Same thing with blocks. Uke techniques, they disappear once you get to high-level kumite, and that's a shame because they're so effective. We just have to practice them the same way we practice our high-level punches and kicking techniques. That's my theory. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you followed. And my sister and I appreciate very much your hospitality and the invitation to come and share with the group. And hopefully everybody has a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. This is a super, super impressive group. I'm always thrilled when we're asked to participate in these trainings. And if Gaby has anything else to add.
Just echoing that, yeah. Thank you so much for allowing us to contribute again, and we definitely benefit all the time from these trainings, so thank you so much.
We're out of time, so thank you everyone, and keep training and have a great evening and a great New Year.
And say hi in the chat so we know you're here. Thanks everybody.